It is my lucky day. It is still dormant time for this fig. I need to get it trimmed up, but the weather is so mild, it's gonna be a breeze. And today I brought a secret weapon with me. This, yes, painter's tape, is my secret weapon today because I need to make a plan before I start cutting. I already know a couple of things that I want to do. This branch and part of this branch, I think they're connected, they stick out and they make it hard to mow. So I know this needs to come off, so I'm gonna take my tape and mark it so I can see the ones that need to go. And this one keeps us from being able to walk past the garden bed. Now this is a little different because these stick out in the aisle, but I don't want to go all the way back because some of the branches are okay. So I'm going to mark the branches that are problematic so we can figure it out. And so this will help me begin to see the places I want to cut, because there's something else that I've learned about fig trees is I really should keep it to cutting back 25% or so, which means I can't do all of the topping that I want to do. Because the other thing is that figs grow on new wood and new growth. And so in order for this to put on figs, it's going to need to grow another 8 or 12 inches, and I won't be able to reach that. So the other goal is to get the top a little bit lower so that we can have new growth and it's reachable. But then in the middle, where I really can't reach it anyway, I could just leave that for the birds this time and leave this nice big piece in the middle for the birds and save that for pruning another time. That way I stay within my 25 to 30% limit and still make a difference. And then down inside the tree like this, all these little tiny branches, once this tree fills in, I won't be able to reach those. So those are definitely going to be coming off as well. So when I talk about new wood, you can kind of see the difference in the color of this versus last year's. So this has had some growth, and now we've got new growth and even buds happening along here. And if you look down at the very bottom of the tree right here, we've got this one on the other side of the branch. It's already got some buds and it's almost still green. And so that's what I mean by new wood. The figs won't grow anymore on these old pieces. They'll only grow on the new sections. So the other benefit of cutting that out means that we have an opportunity to get more figs that are definitely reachable. I would guess at the moment this tree is close to 10 feet tall, and I'm gonna leave this center still, I think. I've marked off more of the pieces. You can kind of see the blue painter's tape in there, and that's gonna help guide me. So now let's set up our pruning equipment and get things chopping. So I'm gonna start with the small branches first with the loppers. Oh, that might have been a little too thick for those loppers. Now, these smaller pieces that are some new wood here, I'm going to save some of those so I can propagate some more fig trees. Let's see, to get the little pole saw back for that one. I just want to make sure that I can easily, I didn't catch that one very well, easily walk around and not get poked, because I'm regularly poked by this one as I try to navigate around the garden bed. Okay, now that I have the small things I could take off with the lopper, it's time to break out the pruning saw. Now this is a little Works WG324, and I've made another video about this that I will link to in the description below and at the end of the video. My batteries are all charged up. I'm going to add some oil and let's give it some trims. Oh, and you know, safety first. This probably looks like overkill, and maybe it is, but it's what I have. So I can keep anything from kicking back on my glasses, and I've got this chainsaw gloves to protect my hands. I think it's important when we're working out in the garden. I've in the past sort of rushed in and gotten myself hurt. I'm trying to be more mindful this year, safer, and work from a plan. Now, I don't want my painter's tape to get caught in the chainsaw blade, so I'm gonna pull that bit off. That's close enough. Actually, and this little one here is in the way of that. Let's see, I'm just learning here, y'all. We're just learning together. We'll take that little one out of the way. Well, that was nothing. There we go. Woo! Nice and smooth. And this is facing down, so I'm not worried about water gathering on it. As I'm doing this, you may notice me cut things at an angle. That is, sorry, let me put this back up. That is to make sure that when you cut it, especially if it's pointing upwards, if you cut it flat, then water can stand on the end. But if you cut it at a 45-degree angle, it's a better cut for better health of your fruit trees and, well, any tree that you are pruning. Now, this comes the big one here. I'm going to hang on to it. I wonder, though, for safety's sake, it might be better if I take these heavier sections off first before I cut that away. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to cut that down there. Maybe I need to cut this at an angle, like I just talked about. So now, same on this one. Maybe I don't need to take it all the way back to there for that one. Gets this right up to the mower there. That's pretty good. Okay, and then I'll take this one off here. So this is how much we've taken off so far. Doesn't look like much, but I would say that's probably about 10% of the tree if I had to just do a guess. And so got some more to go. Oh look, I can walk around now. Nice. Now I can reach some of these in the middle. It's a little nicer than with the lopper. Except I didn't, well, that's still angled down. Now I can get inside the canopy here a little bit. Let's see what we got. Now I put the tape back here thinking I was going to take all of this off, but after looking at it, I think I'm going to leave these two branching sides and just take off this section here. And this little bit right here. I guess I didn't get this part taped, but this really does make easy work of it. Now that can be a problem when you have something as easy as this to do the pruning with. This is working really, really well. I'm gonna check on my chain, it's still in good shape. Probably gonna oil it again in a minute, but when you have something easy to prune with like this, it's really easy to get prune crazy. And so I find myself, oh, that one, oh, that one. I have to still be careful. So I just wanted to give you that little thought there, that when you're using something a little more powerful, it's really easy to get a little bit out of control. So I'm really, really glad that I marked most of what I wanted to cut before I started cutting. I think in carpentry they call that measure twice, cut once, but something like that for gardening too. Here's one I didn't see is like when the branches are crossing over each other, it's good to clean that up so they have room for air and room for the fruit to grow. So I'm gonna evaluate this, and probably, since this seems to be the most offensive one growing into that one, I'm gonna take this off and probably take this one back too, because I need to bring this down. I sort of missed it the first time. This one needs to come down for height. Now that could have done probably with a little uppercut, but we're okay. Now we're gonna start working on these heights. And I have to say, I'm really glad I had this on because I can feel, you know, the dust spitting back on me, but it's not gonna go in my eyes because I'm very fashionable. Something I'm noticing here now that I'm doing this is like this already has the new wood, it's already growing. I can reach that, so there's no reason for me to take this whole thing off here. This gives me some room to walk through. I might go ahead and just take, oh, this isn't a nice place. This isn't so bad. I can get around it. That's really what I'm trying to see is, can I walk around? If I can walk around with the face mask on. I think that's pretty good. But now I can get in here to some of these smaller branches. Let's get those. Oh. It's really starting to shape up now. I got to take a little more height off, but I'm liking what I've done, especially on the sides. I can easily walk past the garden bed. I can make room now for the mower to go by. Maybe that one needs to come off. You know, so it's easy to get the riding mower by that. I got that one marked for height, so let's take that one. And I think I'm going to take this one off right here, and that might be all we're taking for height. Let's see. Because I've got all these nice little branches to the outside of it. Well, that's on the inside. Let's get that one. I'm just standing here thinking about this because, you know, I'm the one that picks these, and so I kind of know what happens each season. I will be able to get to that, so will the birds. I feel like, oops, broke that one. I feel like I almost need a ladder or a stool to reach this because I'm reaching way too far above me, and that's just not going to be safe. But I also kind of don't want to cut it back all the way to here, but maybe that's what I have to do. And then we'll get some new growth out of some of these nodules in years to come. So I think I changed my mind. I think I'm going to cut it off about here, and we will just live with it. But I am going to cut from this side so that it can go out in this direction. Wow, that's a big piece. Look at there. That, just this, just this branch is as tall as I am. It's been about 10 minutes, so I am going to give it some more oil. I've already checked to make sure that the chain is not too loose, but I am just going to lubricate it up and see some of the oil spinning off of there. That way we know it's in good shape. Well, this has really made light work of making this possible. Oh, let me put that back up. So I think I have a few more cuts to make, but we really have made progress. Let's take a walk around the tree and take a look. So we've made more room on the side. I'm able to walk all the way around. The lawnmower, the riding mower, can get through this way. I've taken off the tops on the outside edges where I can reach. I've left some of the center up there for the birds because I could prune that again later in the season or next season and just continue to make this a better practice. If I take all of these and chop them all off, one, it's going to look ugly, but two, I think it's going to really cause the tree to move into a growth mode, a production mode. I like it. Now, yeah, I could have taken a little more off the top, but I do want to sort of be mindful of the quantity. You can see through here how much I've actually already taken off. And so I don't want to overdo it. The problem is it's been 5 years and this really hasn't ever been done. So I let it get out of control early. But guess what? I could always change my mind in a couple of weeks and cut a little bit more off. It'll still be a few weeks before we start getting leaves on here. Otherwise, I think for today, I'm going to call this really, really good. I am really glad to have another one checked off of the winter pruning list. And of course, I can always come back if I change my mind later. If you want to learn more about the little WG324 Works pruning saw that I used, be sure to check out this video right here. And if you like this content and want to see more things like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know you're interested. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day.